Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my April favorites. In April, when we talked about my March favorites, I said April is going to be another busy month with lots of releases, and that certainly has been the case. Actually all of the items except two, as part of my April favorites, were released in April, so they're new to the industry. Only two of them were just new to me, not new to the industry. So the first item I'm going to quickly go over are the Hermes lip enhancers. So these are basically matte lip balms, and they are not limited edition, so they're refillable. I know that's always a concern, what is limited edition and what is not. So I feel like if you have, there's actually three shades that was released. I have Rose d'été, this pink one here, and then this peachy one is Rose apricote. And if you have one shade, I don't believe you need another. So this is Rose d'été, and apricote just blends right into my skin. There's also Rose tan, which is the deepest of the three. I think a lot of people actually do enjoy Rose tan, but again, if you can, I encourage you to go into a shop to look at these and see, if you're interested, of course. These don't have a lot of pigment to them. What I find that they do most noticeably is they blur your lips. Because of that matte finish. So they blur your lips and they give you like a tinge of color. Not so much this one here, but this definitely gives me a nice pinky tinge of color. I did go into the store to purchase these, but I still managed to get two because I just couldn't take my eyes off of the packaging. I just love this color block, but especially this pink, like pastel pink, and this blush like peachy shade. Matches my dress. Now I just need like a handbag and a pair of shoes in this shade, then I'm good. I won't wear all of them at the same time because now we're like too matchy, but separately, oh, so good to go. These are also matte in its finish that matches the lipstick. They are scented. They all actually have the same scent as their all of their other lipsticks as well. So something to note, if you don't, just in case you don't enjoy any scent on your lipsticks, it is light. When compared to Chanel and Dior, it's actually a very light scent. Then next I have the Burberry Runway palette. This was available first in the UK, and then about 2 months later, a month and a half later, it was available in the States for 5 minutes. It was something very dramatic, maybe for a day, and it was all sold out. I did share on my Instagram and in my review video a different palette that you can get if you really want this, but you just can't wait. I hope there is a restock. We just haven't heard any news when that would happen, that you could consider this other palette I will show you that could be, well, it is comparable. It is comparable. It's not the same, but you can get some very similar looks as to what you can get with this palette. The shadows are easy to work with, easy to blend. They're soft. You have shimmery finishes, metallics, and mattes, which they actually have all described on the back of the palette. It's a very practical naming system that they have. So it's like light camel, shimmer, gold, metallic, brown, matte. Yes, hoping that this would be restocked. I am keeping my eyes peeled. We'll be sharing on Instagram first thing if I hear anything. Next item are the brand new Hermes blushes. Between the packaging and just, the whole brand experience, I bought 3 of these, but these two, Rose Pomme and Rose Abricot, are probably my standout shades for the summer. Again, this dress. So Abricot and Pomme. I do think I prefer Pomme the most because this is a beautiful pink, gives you a really nice natural flush, and these blushes are very silky smooth. Now the scent No, they are not the same as the lipsticks. It's also very light, but they're not the same. Just so you know, in case, again, if the scent is not your cup of tea, you have an idea. It's still fairly light. If anything, I think the Chanel blushes, the scent is just, it's way too strong. I mean, even their old formulation blushes they're very, very strong, very beautiful blushes, but it's something you do need to get used to. These are lighter in concentration. And while we're at it, actually, I'm not sure why I didn't have this out before, is the third shade I bought is Rose Ombre. It's a more neutral shade, good for, well, especially I think for fall and winter, but you can wear this all year round with, you know, any neutral makeup to the office, just very appropriate and easy to match. The blushes are also sitting in refillable compacts. None of these three are not limited editions, so you can get them at any time. One way to do it is maybe purchase one blush and then purchase another one in its refillable pan so that you can switch it out if you wanted to. The way to do that is it's not a pinhole, it's larger than a pin, but yeah, you can just poke that, put something through there, pop this open, and then put the other pan in. The next item I have here is Viseart's Soleil La Plage, and of all the eyeshadow palettes I was looking at in April, and then of the ones I purchased, I think this is the most unique of them all in their interpretation of a summer color story. This row here, all metallics. And these two yellow matte shades, they show up on my skin tone. Lovely. This is just lovely. You can create some deeper looks, but I think the whole premise, the inspiration, or one of them anyways, behind this palette is watercolor. So it's a lighter color payoff. It's pigmented, but it's meant to be a little bit lighter. So that is the difference, and I think it does stand out because when we look at Burberry, first of all, warm color story, deep tones, and very intense. You can get very intense looks from this. And this is supposed to be, I guess, a spring palette. Viseart, neither really warm or cool, just kind of in between shades. You got a mixture. And then the next eyeshadow palette, we'll just jump right in, is from House of Ciacé. Very pretty. You can get very smoky looks. They're not going to be too intense because these are actually very wearable shades. You can build on it, you can deepen it. They will take that kind of buildup of the formula, but it's mostly like pinky, mauves, and of course you can always put this shade, mix it to really deepen anything here. I think this is really pretty, but again, it's not really specific to a season, definitely not summer. You can wear this during the summer, it'll be beautiful. You can keep a very light look too with using this shade and this shade, and this one of course. And along with the eyeshadow quint they also released a, what do they call it here? Complexion Duo. This is a highlight and this is a blush. So a very soft highlight that does not have any micro glitter, a soft blush, and let me see, fairly pigmented. Both are very universal too, actually very easy to wear. And the blush does remind me of Rose Ombre, and we just swatched this. So let me swatch it again. So we have House of Ciacé, and then the highlight, and then this is from Hermes. So a little bit more rosy, pinky, and then this is a bit more, I guess you could say, maybe like more red, a little bit of brown in it. They're similar though. I think House of Ciacé did a really good job with their makeup release. Again, they weren't really anchored to any season. They just wanted to release makeup that's very wearable and pretty for all seasons. And I think they did that very, very successfully. Unfortunately, a viewer, Tracy, if you're watching, you've told me that they don't ship to Canada, which makes me sad to hear that. I hope they expand so more people can enjoy their makeup. I was just really surprised that they, it's not that far away. So I hope that changes soon. And then I have next is clean makeup brand Westman Atelier. This is their Squeaky Clean Lip Balms, or Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balms. I think it's important to talk about like the liquid lip balm formulation here, because these sit on your lips and they dissipate on your lips like a lip balm. And they are tinted, but it's not a tinted gloss, it's not a tinted lipstick, it's hydrating like a balm, it feels like a balm, and it just happens to be in a liquid format. And that's a good tint. It's a nice color. This is New, and they have a fabulous lemon scent to them. Fabulous. And I think my Puce is actually my favorite shade. And then the deepest shade I have here is Galston, which I also really like. Pair this with like a Victoria Beckham, I think in the shade Sway or Pose. Oh, very dramatic lip. I'm actually going to, let me put some New. A little bit of pink here mixed in, but that, nude brown orangey shade I have from the lipstick is still really apparent. But you get instantly glossy lips, and it just adds to your hydration because it is a lip balm. We're down to the last 4 items, or 5, but I have 2 items in that I'll talk about together. This is Dior's summer collection, their Dune collection. They released 2 quints, Mirage and Dune. This is Mirage, this is Dune. These shades here, light in color payoff, and it is very much intentional. You can use these shades, well, some of them, as blush, as highlight, and even as a bronzer or contour. I've used this shade here as like a very shimmery blush. I've also used these shades here to do the same thing, to build on that blush color, but I think this one gives me the most pigment. And for contour or maybe bronzer, this shade does work for my skin tone. They are surprisingly versatile from the way they look, and when you swatch them, or just as I have now, put them on my finger, you think, how is it gonna look on the eyes? It's actually really light but very shimmery and sparkly, so I think it's beautiful. I think between this collection and Viseart, they really are standout because they're not, they're just different from what we've been seeing when it comes to like really buttery metallics or really pigmented mattes. They did something different there, so I really enjoy that. Good variety from Dior. Then we have here more Westman Atelier. This is their, I think, Baby Cheeks blush. It's a cream blush, and this is in the shade Minette. It's what I have on today because Minette has kind of these flecks of sparkle in it. It gives you that dual effect of being both a blush, but also like a little bit of a highlight too. And I do have highlight on the high points of my cheeks, not the entire area, but from Minette, it almost looks like I do. Like I layered on a highlight underneath and I put the blush, but that's not the case. And then we've come to possibly my favorite eyeshadow palette from April. This is Byredo's Disco palette. Can you see the similarity from Disco compared to Burberry Runway palette? I'll hold the 2 up side by side. Right? You can most certainly create looks using this disco palette that you would get from this palette. And I prefer actually this one, even though there are less shades than this, is that this, every single shade, I really like. And I don't mind putting 2 shades all over my lids and calling that a look. I could also use all 5 to create a look. So even though it's 5, there's still good versatility. And while the looks can be still very similar because of the tones these are, I just still really enjoy it. And I still feel like, you know, if I was going on a work trip or something, more than happy to just take this and know I'll still get variety in my looks. Super easy to work with. They are actually so buttery that if you go in with too much pressure, the shadows begin to flake. So that's something to be aware of. Hasn't really deterred me from enjoying it. I just have to remind myself to, like, easy. You'll get a lot of pigment. You don't need that much pressure. And the most fabulous thing about this palette is it is available. There's no stock shortage, there's no delay of release or anything of that nature. I'll have a link below. You can purchase directly from Byredo's website, or if you're in the UK, you can purchase this from Selfridges. Oh, by the way, I talked about UK release of the Burberry palette and how then it was available in the States. Now it's sold out. I believe you can still get this from the Bay, the Hudson Bay in Canada. Prices are quite a bit more compared to US, like even if you take into account currency and, you know, what your credit card might charge you. I think there's still about like a $20 to $30 US difference. I could be wrong on that. I remember looking at it and, you know, doing some comparisons and was like, oh, this is pretty pricey. But if you live in Canada, you like this palette, it should still be available. I will have a link below. I'll check and I'll have a link below if it's still available. For my final item, and I placed this last because I think this is, for me, in terms of clean formulation and makeup, is an absolute game changer. This is the Westman Atelier Vital Skin Stick Foundation. This is in the shade Atelier 1. Would not have guessed at all that Atelier 1 would suit my skin tone. I thought it'd be like a 2 or a 3, but apparently Sephora told me that I'm a 1, so okay, I did get it, and it actually does match. If I apply too much though, it's probably too light at that point. However, I know the instant I spend a day or 2 in the sun, like outside doing stuff, this is gonna be too light. So now that I've gotten a chance to try it a good number of times, it's also what I have on today. I'm gonna go back and get a deeper shade. I don't know if it should be Atelier 3 or 4 even. I'll see, but I know what I want to get. I need for sure to cover me for the entire summer, as I do end up getting a lot of color. And then as I'm getting more color, or as I come off of summer going into fall months, I could combine the 2 shades and get something that could work for me. So that is the goal. I will have a video of just Westman Atelier products, so we can talk more about it. But this brand has been out for a little bit now, and we've all just really come to enjoy and love her products. So I don't think it's a new thing or you guys are a stranger to it, but still I'd want to spend some more time, give it a dedicated video as well. And actually, I know I said this was the last item, but there's actually something else, and I debated on whether I should include it because I just haven't tried enough times to really call it a favorite, but it would be a quick like shoe-in for May favorites at this point, I think. I'll just mention it, not really my April favorite. I want to give it some more time, but I have a feeling it's just going to be like an easy shoe-in for May when we look at favorites again. This is the Westman Atelier eye pods. This is Le Jour, and that's what I have on my eyes today. I'm trying it for the first time, and I know Michelle Wong loves these, and her favorite shade, I believe, is Tabac. I mean, look at my dress and Tabac. It's like, hello. Oh yeah. Ooh. These peachy light vibes. I love it. It's beautiful. It's so easy. This shade alone, one and done. And I think it's very versatile too. Would suit many different skin tones. And then we have here, which I also really like, is Chocolat. If you don't want that all over your lids, you're not looking for any kind of smoky or dramatic look, you can use it as liner. And I have that on my upper lash line and also like the waterline right here. It's great. What I didn't know when I purchased this is it comes with a pouch. So if you're on the go, you just put all of these in the pouch and you know that they're in a good spot. There's also the third shade here, which is Neige. And I put that onto the center of the lid. Don't have to do that. You can just put it on your brow bone. You can put it as an inner corner highlight. So I think these three shades really do cover eyeshadow basics to give you dimensions. And you can create a look with it. Now that I've tried Les Joules, I want to get, I think La Nuit is the other one. I think there's another Westman Atelier haul coming. Yeah. Might be doing that right after this video. Thank you guys for watching. I am catching up on my videos, debating whether I should do a Sephora haul video. I did a Sephora haul recommendation, but because of my eye at the time, I just could not, come back on, and then I was out of town for a little bit too. I just couldn't come back on and do that. Not sure if you guys are still interested in the Sephora haul video. Maybe I should just do like a big April haul, and that way everything is covered. We'll see. We'll see what the next couple of days is like. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.